Ooh, da, da, do, da, da. Well, let me get YouTube on, guys. We need a bit of Elvis in the background. I've got a new cup. Where is it? Where have I put it? Aha! Let's 1 second, guys. Put a bit of milk in. Someone got me a new cup. One of you guys, Linda, got me a coffee cup. Love it. Right, I'll put some Elvis on. Okay. Let's just get some water. Right, I hope you're okay. It's Defending Elvis Presley fans want the truth. Let's get Elvis back on. Quite like this one. It's got loads of really good pictures of Elvis. Okay. Do you do? Right, we need to get Elvis. Hi guys. Let's get Elvis in the picture. Is that a bit high? Let me just get it a bit. I don't like there to be too much ceiling. Right, okay. So I think we're gonna read a book. It's a bit hot in here. What I think I'll just see how it is. So Linda Cudden, Linda, are you there? I need to message Linda. Linda has got me If I Can Dream cup. Let me message her. So I'm live. Here we go. I'm live now. I wonder if she'll get it. Linda, I'll tell you what, Linda has done me a lovely favor for Christmas. Last Train to Memphis. Is this a good book, guys? I think it is. I absolutely love it. Whoa, baby. Oh, thank you. It says a gift from Linda and Team Elvis. I'll let Linda get on. I mean, she might be busy. So I've just been out. It's freezing out there. Oh, thanks, Jane. I love, guys, when you send me gifts, I'm very, very grateful. Let me just get the Elvis in the background. It means a lot to me. I love that people do things for this. But look, and Linda has actually written in it. Yeah, that makes it even more special. If any of you guys send me something and you write on it, it's even more special because then it's more of a keepsake. So do write in it. Do put your name on it. A little letter or poem or something. I love things like that. Love it. Really. Thank Linda. Let's wait for Linda to come on, then I can thank her properly. And then she bought me this cup. Isn't that a coincidence that I played If I Can Dream on our 2-hour live stream we did this morning? Now, Songbird, I want you to know the reason I haven't wore your t-shirt is because it's freezing. It's freezing. Songbird, I definitely do want to wear your t-shirt, but it's too cold. It is too cold. So, as soon as the temperature warms up, I promise you, Helen, I'm going to be wearing your t-shirt a lot. Is Linda here? I don't think Linda's here yet. I have messaged her. Hi, Stacey. Hi, Deborah. Max, good morning, Max. Let's see all your messages. Obviously, usual takes a while for you guys to get your notifications and to realize that I'm live. Max, the discussion today is this book. We are going to introduce this book. Yeah, I know nothing about this book. We're going to read. Let's have a look. Let me look at it a minute. It looks amazing. Peter Guralnick. I've heard some people have said this is one of the best books ever written about Elvis. The Last Train to Memphis, The Rise of Elvis Presley. Wow. Now, let me just, Linda wrote me a lovely letter, which obviously, of course, I treasure. So then we've got the author's notes. Then we've got, oh, what a lovely picture of Elvis. Let's have a look. A mother, right, mother and father. So there is a prologue and author's notes. So we're going to read that. We probably won't read the first chapter because I don't have time for that. Oh, the letters are so small. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go because the letters are small. We have quite a long beginning, so I'm not sure how much of it we can read. I'm going to try and read I'm going to try and read the prologue, yeah? And author's notes. We'll read the back as well. It is a bit hot. Let me just take this off a minute. It's quite hot here. It might be because I've made a coffee. So I might have to get a bit of water. Let's get a bit of water in my coffee a minute. Let me. Oh, I think the heating's on or something. It's hotter than normal. Let me just top this coffee up with a bit more boiling water. I've got a good hour. Okay. I've just been for a really long walk with the dogs. I was just with the wife, my beautiful wife that I absolutely adore. She has asked me to cook the spaghetti and the chili con carne. So she's out with her mother. They took the kids to the library every Friday. What day is it? Tuesday. The grandmother comes. She's from Bath City. Bath is in the UK, Bath City. My wife is originally from Bath City. Yeah. Have you heard of Bath, guys? And she comes. She gets them from school, takes them to the library. Yeah. My wife's mother wants our kids to love reading, so it's very important to her that they love reading. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Yeah, you know, these books, I know they get sent to me, but they're for us, aren't they? Team Elvis, we read them, we learn together. Yeah, I find a lot of the things we do, we learn together. Now, this morning I did post a video of the first 15 minutes of Riley Keough's latest interview. Let me see if I can just show you I think it was Rose Finney that sent it me. Let me just see if Rose is here. Okay. Let's get Rose's. Let me just click on the link. Rose, are you there today? Hi, Rose. I haven't had a chance to message all you guys. Is Tony there? I know Tony likes to join us. Tony, are you there? Let's have a look. I think that could be it. Let's have a look. No.
A young man from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Oh, I'll play this anyway.
On records and changed music forever. That man was my grandfather. When you know, you know. When you know, you know. It kind of makes me laugh. Running down that path where you could explore. 'Cause when you know, you know. When you're old, you know. You call me moving me. The diamond on your ring. The soul that you bring to the table. One that makes me sing.
Oh God, I love that. Rose, Finny, that is beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna have to post that on my channel, guys. It's just too good. Did you like that, guys? I wasn't expecting that. Oh, that made me skip a beat. That's how good that was. Did you like that, guys? Wow. Hi, Deborah. Are you driving, are you? Rose, thank you. Oh God, I really liked that. Right, let me go to Rose's thing again, because she has sent me Presley Mania's newest video, which is called. She sent me two things actually. Let me show you. We're not going to play. Obviously, I'm going to watch them, but she sent me Presley Mania's new Lisa Marie Riley and Scientology. And Into the Great Unknown with Riley Keough, Dear Chelsea. Now, I haven't watched both of those things. So I'm going to watch them, of course. Sometimes I review these videos. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of Rhonda. I love what Rhonda does. Rhonda's channel is great. That's the best word for Rhonda's channel. Great. Presley Mania. So the other channel, I don't really know it. Dear Chelsea with Riley Keough. But that isn't the one I was trying to find. I was trying to find the Riley Keough interview that was. Let me see if I can get it up, guys. Oh, I love that. It's still in me. When you know, you know. Oh, so good. Right. I just want to watch it again. Right. I'm trying to just. On this morning's live stream, we played a bit of Riley Keough's interview. This is her most recent interview. I'm just hoping that it's on here. It doesn't matter. I will find it, but anything that comes out with Riley in it, I love to play it. I love to play it. Here we go. Right, found it. So it's called Skinny Confidential. Now, I did say to them, I'm going to review your video, and she put a heart on it. So I think that's the green light that I can. I've already played, I don't know, 12 minutes of it. I'll just play it for a few seconds.
You know, she had wonderful fans, but she also would have a lot of like Elvis impersonators at her shows. And so I think it was hard. Her own career was hard.
Actually, do you know what?
And I think that she
just to be a bit relaxing, I'm going to play a little bit of it. Do you mind that, guys? It gives people a chance to join. And then what I'll do while it's playing, I'll get my other phone and I'll quickly message everyone to say that we're live. Is that okay, guys? Do you mind that, guys? Now, just to say, I know we had a very heated live stream that lasted 2 hours. That's enough drama for today, guys. No more drama. Everything's going to be about Elvis, defending Elvis, and just chatting Elvis. No more drama today, guys. We've had enough drama. It does make the days a bit more exciting. And thank you for your support, guys. You guys are so good. Right, I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to message about 20 people to join us. Okay, is that okay with you guys? Thank you.
didn't want us specifically to do music. Like, I very early on asked for music lessons and wanted to play piano, and I think her and my father both were a bit afraid of us doing music. I think in a way, film was a little more like, oh, that's a little less scary.
How crazy would it be for her to see this book, though, that stood on its own two legs, nothing to do really with Elvis? It's you and her.
Yeah, I think she would have been really like blown away by it, because she was actually incredibly insecure and like didn't really feel deserving. Like she felt it was interesting because she was extremely strong headed and strong-willed and tough, but also really fragile and deeply insecure. So I think that she would be truly shocked that the book was a bestseller, that she, that her story mattered, that people were interested in her.
How did that affect you when she was insecure when you were little?
I such a good question.
My own daughter.
That's such a good question. I felt sad for her. I don't think it made me insecure. I think I felt a sadness for her, but it was crazy because she was really insecure about her physical appearance, and she was so unbelievably beautiful. Like, one of my first memories of her was her putting on her lip liner in the mirror, and I just remember thinking she was 28 at the time, and I remember thinking that she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Like, she was, her whole life so stunning, but in that particular era, to me, like, she was like just like beyond beautiful, and she was just, never saw a photo of herself she thought was pretty. I think I just felt sad.
Tina is at the library.
So secure and confident. So it's interesting, and throughout the book you feel that too. Like you just feel, to me, like you feel secure even when you're little, when you're talking about yourself when you're little.
Maybe it's like because I felt really loved. You know? I don't know. I do feel secure.
Yeah.
Of course I have, like, I'm human. I feel insecure about many things, but I would say for the most part, there is truth in that, and I think that maybe I was raised by parents who were like unconditionally loving, you know.
And what's so cool too is about how your dad and your mom were able to maintain this beautiful friendships throughout. I mean, I've barely heard that in my interviewing everyone. I've never heard
I know it's really impressive, and I think that, like, that was also really dictated, like, the way I approached relationships in my life. And I would, like, my parents basically got divorced, and when I was 6, and then on and off lived together, and then until she died, basically. He was there with her in the house, and I think they just tried to, like, they were very platonic. I asked her at dinner, like, a few years ago when the last time they hooked up was, and she was like, it wasn't, it was in like 98 or something like that. Like,
so they mostly just like drifted into friendship.
They just drifted into friendship, and they were awful married, I think, but they were great as friends. And he would live in the back house when she had different husbands and boyfriends, and I think it was uncomfortable for
he was fine.
For a lot of. He was fine. I think some of the boyfriends had a hard time, but he was fine, and we were fine. I mean, we were, really lucky, I think.
And are you still, like, have a great relationship with your dad today? Is he so proud of the book?
He also grew up in a time where, like, our family story felt so protected. Like, it was like, growing up, it was like, never put your name on anything. Don't put your address anywhere. Don't talk about anything. Like, it was very secretive. So I think he still has a lot of that, like, it's like very unnatural to, like, share so much.
And what, I mean, outside of the obvious reasons for safety and stuff, like, why did the family feel the need to be like that?
I don't know. We were just raised that way. I guess it was safety mostly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, safety. And
so obviously, because we're doing a bit of a review, I do have to comment, but she's just lovely, isn't she? And she seems very relaxed in this interview. There's something different about her. This interview and the one we watched with Fern Cotton on BBC Radio 1, she just seems very just like calm. And she really comes across to me, if you look at her body language, she really just looks like she's ready to say anything. She's ready to bare her soul. You could ask her any question. She isn't all dressed up, like all showy offy. She's just dressed in a completely casual way. There's just something very endearing about the feeling I get when we're watching this interview. It's just lovely. Elvis's granddaughter that is now not only a successful actress and model and many other things, entrepreneur, obviously married with kids, lovely little Tupelo, but the owner of Gracelands, with the twins, Finley and Harper. You would never think that woman had the world on her shoulders. You would never think it. I think it's beautiful, guys.
Probably just, again, I think celebrity at that time was much more private in a lot of cases, where now everyone's just shares kind of
Don't you also think that like everyone was so entitled to every single little last thing that Elvis did that his daughter was probably like, I'm going to go the
Also,
other way.
the stakes were higher, right? Like you leave the house and you go to the grocery store and the photo's like 50 grand or something, you know?
Oh.
like
Did you ever, as a child, was it challenging to become friends with other kids? Like, did you have instances where people are like, oh, this person's not here for the right reasons? You had to like kind of watch out for that?
Definitely. But I always could perceive it, you know, but there was a lot of like, is your mom home? Can we come over? Like
from the kids?
From the kids. From the kids. I mean, which would be from the parents, because how would they know, you know?
Oh my God.
But there was a lot of like, can we see your house? Do you have a big house? Like that kind of stuff. And then as I got older, just like ridiculous questions about, you know, so, but those kids were always very transparent.
I feel like you get a nose for it too.
You do, yeah.
You're like, next.
Yeah, exactly.
Some kid and their dad show up in Elvis outfits. It's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, right.
With what happened with your brother, you seemed like you had the most amazing relationship with him. My mom committed suicide, and so
oh my God,
reading,
I didn't know that.
Truly, I would not wish it on anyone. It's really,
wow.
It's really obviously devastating for the person to go through, but it's really hard in the aftermath.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with that, and how did you talk about that? You seem like you're such good friends with your brother.
Yeah. Well, as you know, it's like the most fucked up experience.
Yeah, it really is.
And I don't know, I'm only a few years out, but if it's something you ever can shake, because it's so intense.
We had a grief.
What a question, guys? What a question.
What do you call him? Expert specialist on the show literally yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And he was basically saying it's like it never leaves. You never shake it. It's just like you learn
to live with it. So you learn to live with the pain and the trauma and the fear and the anxiety and like all of the things that accompany grief. Because I think it's like grief is so big. It's and changes all the time. And I think that's something I realized, like when I think that I have a handle on it, it shifts, and the next year it's a totally different experience. But I just try and stay present in like the uncomfortable.
I mean, you know, that must be one of the hardest questions to ask, isn't it? And answer, of course, more harder to answer. I mean, these guys, Riley and Benjamin, they went, you know, people, they call him Storm, don't they? They went to Scientology school together, yeah? And they were really, really close. He was very, you know, from what I hear, that he was extremely artistic. And I read a story, I know that he loved, I don't know where I watched it, that he loved using makeup, women's makeup to draw on paper, women's makeup. He was a really artistic drawer. I'm not sure where I watched that, but somewhere.
Well, that's really is all I when it happened, I kind of had this like feeling that if I wasn't extremely present through the pain of the grief, that I wasn't going to make it through it. So I felt like I consciously was trying to feel everything, I think. I don't know what that did, but that was my method.
It's overwhelming. I think the suicide is so overwhelming because you start rewinding the tape of like, you know, the last time you talked to them, could you have said something? And then the last month that you were with them, did you see a sign?
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, why? And then you start thinking about, for me, I start thinking about like years later, or
So,
years before, 2 years.
I think in the end, we are going to play this interview. It's too good. Now, one of the things that makes me really sad, you don't have to go that far back, do you? Only a few years, couple of years, to see pictures of Riley, of Lisa, obviously the proud mum, with Riley, with Benjamin, and the twins. You get these beautiful pictures. There's quite a few out there, guys. You see them happy, laughing. You can tell that they didn't really look at Riley as as Lisa being that much older. When you see, 5-10 years ago, when you see Lisa with Riley, they're quite a similar height. Then you've got the little twins. You've got Benjamin, again, taller. And you see them at the Graceland birthday celebrations, etc. Who'd have thought, if you look at a picture, I'm not exactly sure when Benjamin died, a couple of years ago, yeah? Maybe a little bit longer. But when you look at those pictures, you don't see the tragedy. You don't see that a few years later, there's no Benjamin, there's no Lisa. You see these lovely pictures of them all together. It should have stayed that way. It should have stayed that way. Right now, however many years it is, 2-3 years, yeah? Is it 2020? Thank you, Vincenzo. Okay, 4-ish years. Sorry, I'm no good with dates. But the point I'm trying to get is that you look at those pictures not that long ago. We should still now be able to see the same pictures of Lisa with Riley, with Benjamin, and the twins, obviously older, 16 now, of course, Finley and Harper. There was no reason that had to change, was there? As outsiders, as we love the Presleys, we love Lisa, we love Riley and the twins, and Benjamin. There is absolutely no reason why we couldn't have 5 years later still be seeing that family together. It's heartbreaking. Who could have predicted that Ben would go and then Lisa would go? It literally is unthinkable. And and then now we have beautiful Riley, who has gone out of her way to finish off her mum's book, From Here to the Great Unknown, with those 16 amazing tapes. And Riley said that listening to her mother's voice, Lisa's, she felt like they were having a phone call. At first, it was very strange. She would get these 16 tapes. She would listen to them. She's trying to finish the book, which is a decision she made, that she would honor her mum's wishes, finish the book, which must have took a lot of time, thousands of hours, and must have been very, very heartfelt. And Riley says that when she was listening to the tapes of Lisa, that it felt like they were on the phone together. Once she adjusted and was just listening to the tapes, it was like she was having a phone call with her mum. I find that beautiful. Beautiful. I think it's horrible that Lisa has gone and Benjamin has gone. Horrible. But the gift that Lisa left was those 16 tapes. And I know the tapes are not all happy memories, but there are many happy memories in those tapes. And you hear Lisa, swearing and shouting and laughing and crying and all sorts. You hear noises in the background. Yeah, I think you can hear Danny Keough in the background. And I just think how beautiful that Riley has those tapes, and that she then went through that. I don't know how long it took to write the book. She went through that period of time feeling like she was having a conversation with her mother, and she completed this fantastic book. No matter what's in that book, I don't know if the word that lucky isn't the right word. Lucky isn't the right word. It's so good. It's so good that happened, that Riley was able to do that. Yeah. And I'm sure the twins were involved as well. Yeah. So fantastic, guys. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. And it makes this interview to me even more special.
Years before, was there something there that was weird? You start putting it together and it's kind of like a mind fuck.
It is a mind fuck.
Yeah.
In your situation, was it something that was totally shocking, or was it from your perspective?
Now that I'm an adult, not at all.
Right.
Now, you know how you have like the perspective, you can see how that could have happened?
Yeah.
I I actually, this is really weird. I've never said this to anyone but Michael. I actually understand it.
Okay.
This is a long time ago though. So I actually understand it and I feel empathy for it. And what you said about your mom, about how you said she was insecure, that you weren't insecure, you felt sorry for
Empathy.
her. Yeah. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that when I had a daughter, it brought it back up to the surface.
Yes.
And I think you just the same with you. It never, grief sort of never ends. And for instance, if you were to have a little boy and you have your daughter and you see that relationship, it's kind of brings stuff up that you think is shoved down.
100%. And I also had a daughter, and my mom passed away when she was 5 months old, and so I have spent a lot of her life in grief so far, and it brings up a lot of fear
Lorna.
And
just letting people know that we're live.
Irrational fear and going, oh God, is this gonna happen? I think the fear of the loss of connection between a child and a parent is so terrifying.
Yeah.
That it does bring up am I gonna end up like that? Is this gonna happen to somewhere? Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting time parenting.
It's because it's like you said, everything is a reflection. It's
Is Jane
especially
here?
with what you've been through.
Just telling people we're live, guys.
I mean, I can't even imagine. It's hitting you from both ends, and then you also have to show up as a parent, but then you're looking at yourself as the mother. It's a mind fuck.
Totally. It's totally been a mind fuck. And I think it's funny because a lot of the interviews I do, everyone kind of is well, do you feel so proud of yourself for breaking the generational trauma? You feel putting me or giving me this responsibility that I've,
it's a weird question.
A weird question. And also people keep saying how did you break your family's curse or something?
Oh,
and I'm
Christ.
It's so intense, but also I'm I definitely am a human and having very human experiences of grief and sadness and difficult emotions. And I definitely don't feel like I've done anything special. I just
think
wasn't
they don't
given
know what
this.
to say.
I know.
I don't think that they're trying. I think that with suicide specifically, and can you imagine how long ago this was so long, no one wanted to even touch that word.
Yeah.
It was someone told me to lie and say my mom died of brain cancer.
It's crazy.
People did not want to touch that word. So I think even now they don't know what to say to you. And so what they do is to overcompensate is they'll put you on a pedestal.
Right.
As you're the one.
Wow, you're alive.
We just did, I mean, this is obviously timely, but we just did this episode with him yesterday. And he was saying just this, he's people just don't know how to behave or what to say or how to say it or how to respond or even how to have
Totally.
We talk about so many things as a people. People are so uncomfortable talking about death and
it's
grief.
crazy.
Yeah. And also things that are considered, especially suicides. We just we're so uncomfortable with it.
It's so uncomfortable, and I'm hate to break it to you, you're gonna have to confront it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not that it has to be such a violent experience, but
And let me just interrupt. I think from the bits I've read, guys, with Lisa Marie, is that towards the end of her life, before she died, of course, she never knew she was going to pass, did she? It was very sudden. She knew she was unwell, but she did. I don't for a second think that Lisa thought she was going to die. I actually think Lisa was losing weight and trying to get better. She was getting ready to go out into the big world. And do you remember that celebration at Graceland? She was sort of saying, oh, you fans have got me out of my house. You guys, the fans, have brought me out. And I think Lisa was getting ready to get back into the big wide world. I really do. Obviously, she was very proud of Baz Luhrmann's film, Elvis, which you could see written all over her face, just how happy she was with it. She loved Austin Butler. But I just think we had so much more to come from Lisa, didn't we? We had so much more to come. I know they're talking about the suicide, but I'm not sure I've always admired Lisa Marie, and because I'm 57, we sort of grew up. We went through our children years, teenage years, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s together, didn't we, really? Yeah. So we feel almost like she's a sister. So I'll be honest with you guys, not for a second did I ever think that Lisa Marie was going to die so young. Never, not ever, not once for a second. Yeah, always thought she was a cool character, very gifted, talented, beautiful woman. And I know she loved England. I know that she was in Bath. I know Nicolas Cage and that they spent time here. I don't, you know, what I've learned with Lisa is that we love her as much as we loved Elvis. And I think, you know, I don't like to admit this, but it was her passing when she's not there anymore, that it just all comes to you that you're like, oh God, we miss her so much. You get it, guys? You get it? It's hard. I can't explain it. It's almost like we thought she was always going to be there. Now it's different with Elvis. You know, it's the 70s. He was not well. But with Lisa, I never ever, not for a second, thought that girl was going to die young. And we miss her so much. We miss her spirit, her essence, her personality, the way that she stood up for her father. Because Lisa was the original defender of Elvis. Lisa was the original defender of Elvis. This is a big reason why I think Priscilla and Lisa were not getting on. Because I think that Lisa knew the truth about Priscilla and Elvis. I think behind the scenes, Lisa was very upset with Priscilla, the way she had treated Elvis. That's just my opinion, guys.
Also, I was saying to someone recently, like it's viewed as like a failure too, like that, and people are constantly like, I'm so sorry, and of course it's tragic, but like everyone's gonna die. And so I think that the sort of like my feelings around death have changed so drastically in the last few years, losing 2 family members, and I just feel like the conversation around dying, like, first of all, it like doesn't happen, but also like I actually went to, I found it so isolating what you're saying, how nobody really knew what to say, and it was really uncomfortable for everybody else. And I'm like, yeah, of course it's uncomfortable for you, but it's also extremely uncomfortable for me. And not being able to talk about it is, you know, isn't great. So I went and I had to like find people, I had to find podcasts and things that were, you know, that made me feel a little bit less alone in that experience. And through that, I found out that there's something called a death doula, which is basically like a birth doula, but for you know, people who are dying. And so I went and like trained to become a death doula. And so I was like, how can I like help people be less uncomfortable talking about, you know.
That's amazing. I've never heard of that.
Well, it's just like, we were just talking, I mean, this is a universal thing that everybody is going to experience at some point, whether it's to a loved one or to a friend or to yourself.
I think it was specifically with suicide or drug addiction death.
Sorry, I wasn't saying suicide.
No, I know. I'm just saying we kind of went like totally they just don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I think that suicide's really specific because people are really afraid of it. And it feels really violent and like, I don't know, people just are really scared.
David Kessler, there's a taboo. Didn't he say yesterday?
We met David Kessler yesterday. He's my grief therapist.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's amazing. That's who we went yesterday.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
He's amazing. So I found him, and he was the only person I could find. And I called him, and I was like, "Can you please come help my family?" And I bet he drove over from wherever he lives, and he was like, "I can be there tomorrow." Like I was like, "Please mop us up."
You know what's so crazy?
And he really helped.
He really helped. You meet like that, and we do a lot of these shows, obviously, and you meet some people like that. You're like, that is like a good person.
Yeah.
Like just like a good person.
The most amazing thing was, so I found him because like I don't know what I searched, but his name came up. And I showed it to my husband. And I was like, "Can find him?" Like I don't know how, because this was days after.
Is your husband like Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, literally. And we were in such a state of shock. This was right after my brother.
Let me just quickly pause it. I do have to interrupt because otherwise YouTube are just going to copyright me. So I do have to say things, but I want to. personally, I think that Riley and Benjamin had a real special, like really special friendship. I think that even Lisa, Benjamin, Riley, I think they had a real special connection. I think they had matching tattoos, didn't they? Was it on their feet? And don't they use the matching tattoos in the book From Here to the Great Unknown? And I just, I worry about Scientology. What effect did that have on Benjamin? Is that part of the reason that he was depressed, so unstable? They even say that he wasn't allowed to take antidepressants. Is that true? Guys? Let's just keep going.
I literally couldn't lift my body off I would just lay on the ground in the summer, and I couldn't get out of bed, and my parents were just like destroyed. And so he reached him, and I was so surprised that he was so like responsive. Like he wrote back in like a few hours, and then he was like, I'll come over. And so he came over and he did his grief therapy and talked to us. And when he left, I was like, how do I pay you? And he was like, I don't charge.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, I'm telling you,
I was like, what?
He came in yesterday. We spent a lot of time with him on and off camera.
Yeah.
And like, some people you meet like that, like person is certain people like that.
Yeah.
As we head into Christmas and the new year, what better gift that you could give to people than the gift of health, which is why I'm so excited to talk about Symbiotica, one of our favorite companies, one of our favorite supplement brands. We absolutely love every single thing that this company creates. We've had the founders of Symbiotica on this show so many times to discuss all of the amazing breakthroughs that they're creating over there as a company. And what we love about them so much is that they are innovating all the time and constantly adding to their line of products. If you've been following us for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of Symbiotica supplements. So many supplements contain fillers or harmful ingredients, but Symbiotica's products are truly made with intention. They are formulated with the highest quality ingredients out there. No seed oils, preservatives, toxins, artificial additives, or natural flavors. They're transparent about how and where they source their ingredients, which is incredible as a company. I personally love Symbiotica's magnesium L-threonate and their glutathione. I've said for years I think their glutathione is the best on the market. They're complete game changers. Their magnesium L-threonate can be taken in the morning with coffee. Instead of using artificial sweeteners, you can also take it at night before bed.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. What is that?
Products use liposomal delivery. Safe.
Sleep. The one that he wrote has never been served to me.
Wow.
He brought me the book. It's called You Can Heal Your Heart, and it's all about death.
Wow.
So now I have to read that one. Those are my 2 books that I would recommend for anyone dealing with grief. The book You Can Heal Your Life is amazing, but he does have that energy of Louise Hay. It's a really pure energy, and the fact that he deals with grief on a day-to-day basis and helps so many people is really incredible.
Yeah. And your mother was still alive when your brother passed.
Yeah. My mother and David were very close. She kind of came over all the time and they would do grief groups together for other parents, and she wanted to do a podcast with him. They were very close, and he helped her immensely.
Wait, did you realize that was the guy when you found him on the podcast for grief? The guy that your mom did stuff with?
No, I found him.
Oh, you found him, and then your mother connected.
And then my mother connected with him.
Got it.
And he basically was at our house every day for a few months, and really helped my family through the worst part of the grief.
And so what was your relationship like with your mother when all that was going on?
We were all living together.
Okay.
In her house. Me, my dad, my mom, my sisters, and some of my friends would stay over, and it was during COVID, so it was really isolating.
What an uplifting time.
I know. So it was pretty gnarly. And the thing is that he would come over, but really not all he would do was talk to us about my brother. And be there and sort of just witness the grief. And so it's not like he was doing some magic spell,
That's what you want to tell all the friends. That's
exactly.
all you really need.
Just be present in the other person's pain, But he was remarkably helpful and is a truly wonderful person.
You say in your book, you said that when that happened with your brother, one of your immediate thoughts was about your mom.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you knew. Mm-hmm. How did you know that?
I think that she and him had a really special relationship.
Yeah.
So there
Only
was
son?
that. Only son.
Only son.
She has
Only
two
son.
twin sisters, two little sisters.
Yeah. Only son, and he was like her favorite, you know, to be, you know, straightforward. Not out of me and him.
Well, it probably was like reminded her of her dad.
I'm sure, you know, and they looked.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah, they did.
He looked a lot like her father, and they had a really incredible bond. And she also like wouldn't watch movies where parents lost children. Like couldn't handle like even conceptualizing a parent losing a child. And it was like her worst nightmare. She would talk about it. She had friends who lost children, and she was like, I wouldn't make it. I would not make it. I would die.
I would make it
you
either.
know? And she would say it all the time. So I kind of just knew. I knew that she wouldn't make it.
So how did you show up for your mom then? Like how are you even strong enough to show up for your mother knowing that, and also just losing your brother?
So the amazing thing that happened, or the unexpected thing that happened, actually, was when my brother died. I was like, we were all grieving differently, of course, but I needed help, like from them, and I was really not doing well, and so our dynamic changed a bit. Like my parents kind of were being the sort of responsible ones handling the funeral service and all of that, and I was like, I can't get out of bed, and so I was in a different role than I normally was, which was not what I would have anticipated.
Yeah.
But they were actually taking care of me through that, because it was really hard on me.
But that was probably really nice.
It was, and so I think that they both kind of stepped up, you know, in this beautiful way together as like a non-married couple, and you know, obviously they were devastated, but I think in that moment they were taking care of me more than I was taking care of them.
How has your husband supported you? It seems like you have a real solid relationship with him.
We do.
So it's funny because whenever I see her husband, can someone tell me his name again? What's his name? Come on, Vincenzo will know. Do they live in Australia? I think they live in Australia. I'm pretty sure they do. I know that they met on the set of Mad Max. I think she went back for some reshoots as well, and that's when they hooked up. I think originally when he met her, she had a different boyfriend, but then she came back to America. Then they had to do reshoots, so she went back with the Mad Max filming, and that's when they connected. But whenever I see him, I always think he's like the bodyguard. Do you ever see him, guys? He's always got a black suit on, and he's always walking a few steps behind her. And I'm always like, I'm sure that's her husband, yeah, because he doesn't act like her husband. He stays back and sort of protects her. I think he seems lovely to me. He seems like a really nice guy. Tell me his name, please, someone.
He's like the most solid person ever, and very like stable emotionally.
Ben Smith Peterson,
amazing.
thank you.
Yes, and he feels sort of like an angel in a way that I was kind of given to help me through all of this stuff.
Better talk about me like I'm an
And so I don't know, I just feel very grateful. Like he's
Yes.
the kind of person
Yes,
like
that's beautiful.
I can get anxious or catastrophize things. He's very like very calm and stable. So it's been really nice to have that.
Thanks, Helen.
Did you hear that? You're
You
taking
call me
notes?
an angel?
It's a fun. And how has it been being a mother, balancing everything you're balancing, the book? How do you juggle all of these balls and do it effectively?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I do work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I like working, so I'm really busy. I work more than my husband. He has been amazing in that he's not a stay-at-home dad who works, but he's traveled everywhere with me. So
So nice.
so he's kind of holds it down a bit and allows me to work, which is amazing. And I don't know, we just make it work. It's really hard.
So at this point, do you like writing more? Do you like acting more? Do you like what do you like? I mean, now that you've done, like,
I feel like she's an octopus.
Well, you've had success, obviously, as an author,
Yeah.
and as a writer, like, what do you find your kind of like sweet spot now, or is it just kind of?
They're just different. Like I love performing as an actor, a lot. I love writing. It's a very like isolated experience, whereas acting is like very, you know, it's more social, I guess.
I guess you're doing with a team. Yeah.
You're with around people, and directing is also very fun. I really enjoy all of those things. Writing a book was really different and hard. I don't know if that's something that I would, do again.
Only a psychoanalyst again.
Why did you do it? What was the, like, in the beginning when
it's like she had to close the gap for her mom.
Because my mom, she literally started writing a book.
Okay.
And she, in the middle of that, my brother died. And she was like, I don't want to write this book anymore. I don't care about this book. I only care about writing about grief and your brother. And I was like, well, you have to write this book because you're in the middle of it. So it needs to be finished.
And had you read any of it, or you? I
hadn't. I'd read the proposal and like a few things, but not really. I was kind of actually staying out of it. And then she, in December, like a month before she died, came to me and she called me with her manager, and she was like, I don't want to write this book. I know I have to finish it. I don't want to talk about myself. Like, I think she was feeling very like, why am I writing a book about myself? And I kind of was like, I think the problem is you are expecting this to feel like a salacious celebrity. Like you're expecting this to be like another like Star magazine kind of a thing. And I was like, and it needs to be something really elegant and beautiful about your life. And she was like, well, can you do it? And I was like, I'm sure. I'll help you for sure. And then she died. And so I felt like I had to. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And when you read it, like there's different fonts. So like,
so you can like see
who's writing and who's.
And actually the audiobook's really cool because you can hear Julia Roberts as my mom. And then I'm me. And then there's intros to each chapter that is my mom.
Why did Julia Roberts do it? Just like, did you?
I don't know. I just asked her and she said yes.
So you had a relationship with
No.
You didn't?
I didn't. I just sent it to her and she like responded to the book and she said yes. But she was the only person like the publisher.
Not that she's not amazing. I was just like, oh, is this like someone that you were like?
No, I never met her in my life. She just there was a list they sent of actors who could read my mom's part. And she was the only person that I felt had this sort of strength that in her voice that felt right to me. And so she was the first person we asked, and she said she would do it, and I was just like totally blown away.
Such a cute gift that my mother-in-law got me. She got me this like last Christmas, and I think it's so efficient and amazing. So you know how when you have a frame, but then you have a lot of other family members and they come over, friends, and they don't see their picture. They don't see themselves on the wall. Well, now you can get everyone on the wall thanks to Aura Frames. So this is a digital photo frame. Aura makes it effortless to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone. So what my mother-in-law does with all of us is she gifted this frame to everyone in the family. So we all upload images and they circulate throughout the family. So I can see what's going on with my nieces and nephews or my kids' grandparents. And then I can also pepper in our family. And so when anyone comes over, everyone has a picture of themselves. It's amazing. It's in my guest room. I also have one downstairs in the family room. My kids absolutely love it. It's
So it's all right. I'm sort of messaging people at the same time, trying to get people to join us, and because I know people feel left out if I don't message them. So, but we've only got about 10 to 15 minutes left. Then I got to go and make spaghetti. My wife has said chili and spaghetti ready for her and grandma. Yeah.
It's a lot. I think that's my method. Is I'm like always undersell. So it surprised you that it was a bestseller? Kind of, yeah. I did. And I think also the response
But she's giving me instructions
that people had, the like very human response people had, because I think a lot of the time my family has been interacted with in a way that feels not very human. And I think that how much people were relating.
The wife giving me instructions how to make spaghetti.
You or bother you that people say about you and your family to this day that they're just like, oh, that's just like so off base.
Right, so she was engaged to Alex Pettifer. Thank you, Josie.
It's just not really, because I kind of grew up hearing all kinds of things all the time, and
I heard that that Lisa
totally
liked Ireland,
so it just kind of felt silly. But recently, I think like the idea with this book that like I keep getting asked, like I said, about like a curse, that like a family curse or something, and I just find that so annoying, because I'm like, it's like very human experiences. Like everyone I know has somebody who's like suffered from addiction or lost a parent or lost a sibling. Or
well, this is like what I to observe all this. Like we were saying the other day, if you were just anybody else with different grandparents or different
you'd be
parents,
like, that's a person who has.
Yeah, like I was giving the example yesterday. We had somebody that's got a very well-known, prominent platform, and they talked about like how they sleep with their children, and it was like somebody machine gun firing publications, like, oh my god, this. And I'm like, if anybody else in the world said they slept with their kids,
right?
like,
No one would think about it.
Exactly.
Because
it was this person. It was like literally like news article after news article. I'm like, does anyone really give a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's commenting on it, their opinion. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So I think that like the dehumanizing, I guess, a little bit, where it's like can bother me sometimes. But you know what? I also don't care. Yeah, it's because it's like exposure therapy. You've put yourself out there so many times. It's like it's like I'm good. I've done it so many times. I'm over it. Yeah, I think that the truth is there's not much that bothers me in terms of like press stuff. I don't really it doesn't really affect me.
Well, the press people are going to hate me saying this, but like it's not really even relevant anymore. Mm-hmm. Like everyone, when people say like, oh, look at it, you got featured in this, or I'm like, nobody cared. I mean, also in this time, it's probably not going to get me any more story. Like, nobody's going to write about the fucking podcast. Right. Now, but every time I see it, I'm like, great, maybe that'll like give me a boost. I would make the argument that a lot of these old publications, they need these kind of things more than we need them. I mean, like, it's not like the old days when you pick up an Us Weekly or a People and nobody's paying attention anymore. Yeah, I know. And then that's the other thing is things just sort of come and go, and I just like don't care. People are like, you need press. Yeah. And I'm like, why? They're like, well, because you need it. And I go, why? They're like, because it's important to have them talk about it. But I'm like, nobody is paying attention to them. But I will say, I pay attention to podcasts. That's different. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to put yourself in a different category? Of course, I always do. But the point is like, I think that kind of like salacious, clicky, let's pick apart. Like, I think people don't care anymore. No. Like, everybody's got flaws. Everybody's got a human condition. Totally. Like, nobody. Which is great. I think it's the downfall of people that are hanging. People want substance now. Yeah. They want to know who the person is, what they have to say. Yeah. It makes sense though why everyone's DMing you in a human way. Like it's like the book did that. It made your story like approachable. I think that's to rephrase it. Like what I'm most proud of is that it's like there's this sort of like mythology of my family, and I think that the DMs. I'll read my DMs and people will say things during the book tour, and it's very like, I also experienced grief, or I also experienced addiction. It's not like, oh, Elvis and Lisa or whatever, it's very human stuff. And I think my mom, like, that's why she wanted to write a book, really, is about grief and addiction and her struggles and just her life as a human being and wanting to connect with other people. Well, I think what people would, they see someone who has that kind of platform and comes from the background she comes from, and they're like, oh, like these people are human and they struggle with the same human things that we all. And I think it's relatable, right? It's like, oh, like everybody has problems. Everybody has struggles. But what's cool about all of it is that it sounds like your mom wanted to focus on grief, and the book did that. It didn't make it, like you said, about Elvis. Yeah. Lisa Marie. Yeah. It's like the book helped people. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, that's so full circle. Yeah. Okay. Everyone needs to go check out the book.
What are you working on? Where can they get the book? Tell us all the things. I'm sure you already follow Riley. I love following her.
You can get the book like anywhere you get books. The audiobook, and I'm not just saying this, is really beautiful. Like I think that it's on Audible. And I really recommend it just because it's a totally different experience. I recommend both, but I really enjoy the audiobook. What am I working on? Like, I'm just finished filming a movie. I'm still an actor.
When you go and you do something that heavy, do you have to like go into something a little lighter after, or can you keep going on the heavy subjects?
Well, I've never done anything like I've done a lot of heavy work as an actor, but never anything that's like real. Like when I'm,
What do you mean?
like my real life. Like when I'm
She's acting.
when I'm acting, I don't like recall my own trauma. Like I don't really use my own stuff. So this was a very different experience. Like, and it was very intense and very heavy. And so honestly, I was like very happy for it to be over, and I was happy to be done writing it. But it was really cathartic because I think that there's really something in like sharing your story and just being really honest and open that helps you process what happened.
It's cathartic and amazing. Is there anything I forgot to ask you this that you wish you included in the book that you didn't?
Anything I wish I included in the book?
Anything. Like, is there anything that you were like, I wish I included that? Or do you feel like you got it all out?
Good question. I think there was a lot of things that felt like my experience that I didn't put in the book because it was my mom's book. And so there were moments where I was like, I want to really share this thing, but that's for another time and place, and maybe for my memoir when I'm 80.
Maybe you and your daughter
Exactly. That's
will
a good
write
idea.
a memoir together.
That's a really good idea.
And she can do the same thing that you guys did.
Don't you think it's strange when people write a memoir when they're 35 and they're like still going?
Yeah, that's why I didn't write my memoir. I just like
No, you
focused
have it
on
in
her.
here.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
some people that are like, "This is my memoir," and I'm like,
It
"Dude,
is.
you're 35 years old. Like, you gotta keep
I
going."
know, and that's another thing on this press tour. People keep asking like, "When's your memoir?" I'm like, hopefully not soon.
I feel like we
can
gotta
live-
mix the questions up with the
Like
press.
in
I
my,
know.
Like in my memoir, Lauren,
We gotta get creative.
I agree.
In my memoir, I would like, because I fantasize about one day.
When are you gonna write a
Well,
memoir?
so I'll tell you. So, but this would be like, we would be like 20% into the story in my memoir at this point.
We're
Okay.
20%
Like, we'd be like, if the book was 1,000 pages, this is like page 200.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Okay.
So that I got like 800 more to go.
Wow.
And I'd be like, there was this one old time when I used to talk on this microphone to
Okay.
people. But it would be like a blip on like the thing, because I got a lot of shit I gotta keep doing.
Okay. I can't wait for that chapter.
You can make it.
Maybe I'll do the commentary.
That would be cute.
Yeah.
Well,
Him and
let's see
her.
how long you make it in the memoir. Like, hopefully you can get past the 20%.
Are you in the memoir?
I think I'm on every page. I can't get away from the memoir. I'm on every fucking page since I was born.
You guys
You
have
know
been
what's
together for a
great
long
about
time.
long time. So
I was thinking about this as you were talking. Let's just make it about me for a second.
Okay, please.
I was
I'm enjoying
thinking about
this.
this as you were talking. I was like, well, you got to listen to your mother talking in these tapes. And then I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit, like our kids could potentially like listen to it all sorts of
100%
weird
they
shit.
will.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
They will. They'll listen to every single thing. Like if my mom had hosted a podcast, I would definitely be listening to every
There's like
single
800
episode.
things that can hear me.
So
you
be
just gotta-
careful.
You gotta delete all the sex ones before I go.
Yeah. Before they're
You
like, able
Oh.
to.
Hopefully my son or my daughter, like as I'm like, they can like help me finish my memoir too.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, son, in 20.
it's not about
in
your
year
memoir.
2016, you better help me.
But you know what? You reminded me, like, something that was so special was having all these hours of my parent telling their whole life
It's
story.
amazing.
And I'm like, everyone should do that.
Do you know how bad I wish I had that? You are so lucky.
Everyone should just like take their parent and give them a day and be like, okay, let's start from the beginning.
You know what we've thought
It's
about
hard
doing?
to get some of them to focus.
I know.
I'm like, Dad,
You know what we've thought about doing?
Daddy.
But I think.
Little
oh my
Papa.
God, Daddy.
big Papa Daddy.
We've thought about doing this, and I want to do this, but anyone can do this because podcast equipment these days, or just even recording equipment, is not that
Yeah.
expensive. I've thought about with Lauren sitting each of our parents down and doing what we do, but not releasing it. But
You
for like 4
absolutely
hours,
should.
and doing actually conducting an interview with them about their life and going
Yeah.
through it. You don't have to release it, but I think like
To
everyone
have
could,
it.
yeah, everyone could do that with
I
their
mean,
parents.
most people like that lose a parent have the voicemail.
Yeah, I know.
The fact that you have all of those tapes, I'm sure it's like, it's also, if there's different dynamics to it, you also feel a lot, but it's
Yeah.
amazing that you have that forever.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like people can just buy equipment and sit down with their parent and like record and ask them things about their life. I think it's like a good thing to do.
It's a great thing to do.
I, for some reason, feel a documentary. Do you think a documentary is going to happen?
I would be open to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Oh, that's good.
a movie person.
I know.
So like that's more
Oh, I hope so.
I don't know, like exciting. I mean, I love books, but I think that the idea of a documentary
Wow.
like would excite me. It's not something I necessarily would want to like direct because it's so personal, but I think that I would be open to it.
When I read it, I'm telling you, I was like, oh my
The
gosh.
phones are going to start ringing. That's for
No,
sure.
they're already ringing, Michael. She's Oprah's book club pick, #1 national bestseller, as well as a New York Times bestseller. Go buy the book From Here to the Great Unknown. Riley, thank you for letting me stalk you on Instagram to come on the show. I also stalked you through other people. I was like, she needs to come on, please, please, please. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you
for doing
for all of the like health recommendations and I'm pretty sure I found colostrum through you. So thank you for that.
Which kind? From the tit or from the skincare?
Was
or
it cowboy colostrum? Did you post that?
Armra?
Or I don't know. You posted one that my daughter's been on and she has not been sick in 8 months.
Ah.
You know, I don't get sick anymore either.
Oh, we got to end it about you. Okay. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Riley.
That was
Thank
amazing.
you.
Well, I found that interview just very relaxing. It was nice, especially after the day we've had. We had quite an intense live stream, 2 hours odd. We had quite an intense one this morning. We had an intense one last night. So isn't it nice to just chill and watch that interview? And a special thank you to, let me just say the name of the YouTube channel, Skinny Confidential. The Skinny Confidential. They do know that I was going to review it. The Skinny Confidential. So as always, I say, give them a subscribe, give them a like, because it's their interview. Thank you so much that we were able to play it, and I did let them know that we were playing it. So I wouldn't say that there was all the questions in there that I was hoping for, but I do think it was a lovely, friendly, laid back, comfortable interview. I think they did a great job. Now, the standout person in that interview to me was Riley. She was just so relaxed and comfortable. You would never think that woman was the pressure, she's got an extremely busy life with Gracelands, with her own family, and with her career, writing a book. And the standout thing she wants to do, I think, if I heard it right, she wants to do an Elvis documentary. Now, wouldn't we love that from Riley's point of view? And I bet you she doesn't allow Priscilla to be in it. Because remember, Riley didn't let Priscilla be involved in the book. She kept Priscilla out of the book from Here to the Great Unknown. I think Riley really wanted to write that book on her own without Priscilla. I really believe that. I even think Priscilla wanted to do the audio book. She didn't want her. She used Julia Roberts, obviously, and Lisa and herself. So, God, wouldn't it be great if Riley did a documentary? Because I know that there's pressure with Baz Luhrmann to finish off his documentary because of the success of the Baz Luhrmann film. But I think if Baz Luhrmann did a documentary, I think people like Priscilla and Jerry Schilling will spoil it. Because I personally think that the Netflix documentary, as good as it was, because it relaunches Elvis. Am I taking you somewhere in a minute? No. Right. So I thought I was taking him to football. I think that I did like the Netflix documentary. It's great that we relaunch, Elvis to a new generation of fans. Obviously, Elaine got me this, which I'll always be grateful for. Actually, no, not this one. Elaine got me the other one. Sorry, no, she did get me this. Sorry, I'm just getting confused. Yeah, Elaine got me 2 amazing books. This one, and there's another one upstairs. So to me, the Netflix documentary was good, but because Priscilla was in it and Jerry Schilling, it tainted it a bit for me, because I think that she would have had a say in the making of that Netflix documentary. That bothers me. I'm not going to lie to you. It taints it for me, even though, of course, we want to relaunch Elvis to a new generation of fans. We love to see Elvis at his best. We know that the '68 comeback was phenomenal, the best comeback in history, I think. But I would like to see a documentary where Riley does it. Not Priscilla and Jerry and Netflix, Riley. Now that would be something special, because I think it'll be different. In the same way as Riley with her book From Here to the Great Unknown, made sure she made it her own. When I say her own, I mean her and Mum, Riley and Lisa. And that stands out in the book From Here to the Great Unknown. I know, yeah, Vincenzo, I agree. I think she was more involved than we think, because Baz Luhrmann wanted Priscilla's approval. So I think Baz Luhrmann all the way was kissing, no offense, kissing Priscilla's ass through the making of that, right? And I'm not completely happy with the Baz Luhrmann film. I do like it. I like Baz Luhrmann. I like Austin Butler. I like Austin Butler, but he doesn't look like Elvis. He didn't look like Elvis. He had the charisma, the pizzazz that Elvis had, and he got the moves pretty good. I'm still not happy. Oh, Tony, I didn't think you were here. I'm so glad you've joined us. Oh, Tony, we've missed you. Have you only just joined us? Thank you for joining us, Tony. We do miss you. Yeah, you're one of our important people that we look forward to joining us. So I'm so pleased you've managed to catch us. We are coming to the end. I got a little bit longer though, guys. I don't have to rush off. Let's have a look. No, I've still got a little. I've got 10 minutes. But yes, Vincenzo, we love the Kurt Russell film. We love. Now, Vincenzo, what did you think of the TV melodrama? The one that is broken up. I think it was in the 90s. What did you think of it? Yeah. Yeah, you have a good night. TRK, I didn't care for it either. TRK, yeah. Hi, TRK. There's a few bits in it that are okay, but look, I don't like to slate the Baz Luhrmann film, because I know it relaunched Elvis to a new generation. So I want to be careful that I don't diss it. But I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't really like the beginning. I didn't really like the bit where it showed the little boy. There were certain parts of that felt odd. Just not all of it, just certain bits. I did like the bit where he's meeting Colonel Tom Parker. He's at the fair. He's starting to look really cool. The bit where the girls are all screaming for him, I like that. When they show the Vegas comeback, when he's youthful looking and slim and tanned, I like that. But then it all goes a bit pear-shaped. The Graceland part of the movie I didn't enjoy, because I felt that it was rushed. They made it a bit too pizzazzy and it just was over with like that. I wish they spent more time at Graceland's. Then when it shows the mum and the drinking of the mother, didn't really like that. I wasn't that keen on the way that Vernon was portrayed. Didn't really like it. So there was a lot of the film that I didn't like. And then even when Elvis becomes overweight on medication, towards the end of the film, I didn't like it. So not a big fan of Baz Luhrmann film, but I do like Austin Butler. We're still waiting for the film that portrays Elvis in the right way, in the best way, and we haven't found it. It hasn't been made yet. Who knows? Maybe Riley will make that film one day. We want a film that, yes, shows his whole life, but firstly, we want someone who's going to play him that actually looks like him. Why hasn't that happened yet? You know, since Kurt Russell was pretty good, but since Kurt Russell, no one has looked like him. Yeah, we want that. Even the Priscilla character, get someone that looks like Priscilla, but we want the girlfriends introduced. Linda Thompson's character should be in the movie. Ginger Alden's character should be in the movie. Even the way that the Memphis Mafia were portrayed in Baz Luhrmann's film, it was weird, where they're all like, they put it's just comical. The way the Memphis Mafia was shown in Baz Luhrmann's film was just silly, wasn't it? It was just silly. So we want that film, don't we, guys? The Don Johnson. Do you know what, Vincenzo? You know the Don Johnson film. It's what's it? It's Elvis and the Beauty Queen. It's a cheap remake, like an old film, I think from the 80s. I actually liked that film. I actually liked it. I don't know why. The girl that plays Linda Thompson reminds me of the Bionic Woman. Vincenzo, do you agree with that? The girl that plays Linda Thompson in Don Johnson's film, that's free on YouTube, by the way, guys. Don Johnson, it's called Elvis and the Beauty Queen. She reminds me of the Bionic Woman. What do you think, Vincenzo? Yeah, I didn't like Gladys in that film. Yeah, Billy should be in these films. Come on, Billy should be included. So I didn't mind Dale Mitkiff playing him. Yeah, I know who that is. Still didn't do it for me, guys. Don Johnson definitely looks weird. Don Johnson does look weird as Elvis, but do you know when they meet up in the cinema? Is it the Memphian cinema? I actually find that part of the film quite believable. The way Don Johnson chats up Linda Thompson, he moves over and sits next to her, and he starts trying to make her laugh. I quite like that bit in that film. Hi, Caroline. Caroline, we are going in a minute, unfortunately, but I just want you to know, Caroline, this whole live stream has been positive and fun and enjoyable. There's no more drama. There's no more drama. I think if you watch it back, you'll enjoy it. I'm definitely going to ease off with the drama, guys. We've done enough drama. We're going to get back to what we do best. Just have fun talking about Elvis. Yes, Mystic Werewolf. And Margaret should be in a movie, in part of the movie. I agree. Mystic Werewolf. Fully agree. It's all right, Caroline. It's all right. I'm sorry, Caroline. I'm sorry things got a bit too serious. Don't worry. I've cooled out. I've chilled out now, guys. Sorry for misspelling your name and using... don't worry. So I'm always pleased. Now, Caroline, you know that I can message you to let you know when we're live. Are you on the messenger? Are you on the... Oh, no, you are. I'm pretty sure you are. Caroline, you're on the messenger, aren't you? I think Tony's having problems with her Facebook, aren't you, Tony? I like to let you guys know. I did let Linda... Right. All right. Right, Linda, I got your cup. Linda. All right, there's no one there. Come on. Come and say hello. Come on. Come here. Come and say hello to Team Elvis. Oh, look at you. Look, she's come to say hello. You want to sit on my lap? She wants to lie down. She wants me to tickle her tummy. Come on. Oh, what's the matter? Whoa. Come on, roll over. Yeah, she rolls over for me. It's okay, it's fine. There's no postman there. There's no delivery vans. All right. She's still gonna bark. Right. So yeah, she's so. I love my dogs. Love them. So yes, Facebook shot my page down. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, it doesn't matter, Mando. Tony. You know, you can message me through your comments on YouTube. Just Tony, if you want to talk to me at all, just do it on YouTube on a comment. Just when you comment on one of my videos, I'll read your comment and we can talk that way. It's fine. My girlfriend in the Philippines has 2 dogs, Louis, Frosty and Tim. Okay, that's but why is she in the Philippines? I thought you were in Italy. Get her over to Italy, mate. You are right. So Carolyn, I am on it. I don't think my notifications are turned on for receiving them. I probably need to look at. Yeah, Caroline, if you can friend request me, I'll put it here for you, and then I'll just add you to. I'll add you to my list of the people that I message, because like Linda did it a different way. Linda sent me a WhatsApp, so she sent me a thing on WhatsApp, and then I messaged her, even though she's not here. Linda, where are you? I did message you, Linda. Now, Linda has been so kind to me, guys. She sent me some lovely letters, and she got me a Christmas card and this book. Now, we were going to read it. Well, we were going to do the introduction and the prologue. Have any of you read this book? Peter Granak. So tomorrow, maybe tonight, but probably tomorrow, I'm going to read the introduction and the prologue to this book, and it is long. It's got a long introduction. Now, I found that if I'm tired, I can't read. I start stuttering and stammering. I can't do it. I have to be full of energy, fully awake, and then I can read these books. Yeah, so the good thing about Linda sending me this book, and obviously a few of you have sent me books. Anyone wants to send me a book, guys, just send it. The address is on YouTube. But the good thing about these books is we get to read them together. It's not just about me getting a book. It's we get to read it together. We learn together. And I do need to learn, definitely. And the other thing is Linda also sent me a cup. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. Linda, I'm going to use your cup every day. Thank you. I love these little things you send me. Seriously, I'm like a big kid. I'm like a big kid. Right, let's have a look. Let me just catch up your messages. I think I've missed a few messages. Yeah, come on. We need the dogs. They're good company. That's Ella. She's 11. Her mother is 15. So I can't imagine life without them, to be honest with you. They do live very old, Jack Russells. They live over 20. Yeah. No, I know they, Vincenzo, I know they made mistakes. My girlfriend in the really right. Okay. Anne Margaret herself told that she was going to see Baz Luhrmann. I think she knew she wasn't going to be mentioned at all, maybe. Well, I'm a massive fan of Anne Margaret, guys. We will do a live stream just on Anne Margaret soon. Soon. Let's have a look. I have cups, but drink out of them. Thank you. Mando, Tony, you buy me a coffee. You're too nice to me. Tony, I promise you, I will get a bag of dog treats. With your $5, I promise you, I will get them some dog treats. When I next go shopping, I'll even show you them. Okay? That is very kind. These little bits that you guys send me, I don't spend them on me. I spend them on my wife and the kids. All the little treats, like chocolates and sweets or coffee, these little bits you send me, they're not for me. I give them to the kids and my wife. I don't need the money. They're cute little treats for my kids and my wife. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. And the dogs. And the dogs. Yeah, I don't understand why it hasn't come yet, Helen. Helen sent some dog treats. I don't know. But it will turn up. It's Christmas post. Yeah, Christmas post. Oh, thanks, Tony. And Margaret was Elvis's soulmate and true love. Priscilla Death felt threatened and jealous. They did no, only 2 were delivered. So I have no idea why. Remember, we had those winds, and we had those strong winds. Yes, Vincenzo, 100%. Yes, well, Riley hinted. She even said, "I'm the movie maker." I think Vincenzo. I think it may happen. I think it may happen. Hi, Gio. What's up with that? WhatsApp's pretty useful, though, isn't it, Gio? Don't you think? So a pretty handy thing to have, WhatsApp. Okay, guys. Do you know what? I want to hang on because some of you have come on late, and I'd like to just hang on a bit and talk with you guys, but I'm not allowed to because my wife, I have to make spaghetti. I have to make chili con carne. I've got to boil up the rice, boil up the pasta. It is homemade as well. My wife has taught me how to make it. She's even sent me instructions on her phone. So I'm going to do as I'm told, as usual. My wife is in charge of me. Please know this. My wife is in charge of me. I do as I'm told. I do as I'm told, which is good. I love it. So I'm going to have to go, guys. Oh, Tony, if you send us a gift, the address is on YouTube. I love gifts. Anything you want to send me, guys, go ahead. I'm very, very grateful. Very grateful. Yeah, Chicky Blue. I'm fingers crossed. She did say in that interview she wants to do at least a documentary. She did say that. So it's my favorite movie. I hope they release the director's movie, Tom Parker, and many scenes and a few removed from the movie. Yes. Thanks, guys. Richie boy, we'll just go in, my friend. Richie boy, send me a friend's request on Facebook so I can message you when we go live. I'll put my name in. Richie boy. Let me put my name in. I'll accept your friend's request, and then when I go live, I'll message you direct. WhatsApp is like, it's an app on your phone, but when you install it, you get free phone calls, free video sharing, free texting, free picture sharing. It's called WhatsApp. You just need my phone number. That's all you need. I'm happy to share my phone number, guys. No problem with that. I've got no problem sharing my phone number. Thanks, Stacey. Stacey, are you okay? I send you love. Come on, let's all send Stacey some love. She needs a bit of hugging at the moment. Stacey, group hug. Group hug. I'm so glad you're here, Stacey. So yeah, download the app, guys. Thanks, TRK. So yeah, anyone that sends me stuff, it's just go to YouTube. In my description, it gives my address. Usual thing. If you want to get a coffee, usual thing. Subscribe, like, hit the thanks button, hit the thank you button. Yes, Richie boy, come on, get me on Facebook, and I will, every time I go live, I will message you. Then we won't, all of you, anyone that puts me on their Facebook, I will accept it, and I'll send you a message to say we're going live. Yeah, group hug for Stacey, come on. All right, we're going to go. I've got to go make spaghetti. Guys, I'm going to lay off the drama. I'm going to be more chilled out, and we're going to get back to what we do best, which is defending Elvis, talking about Elvis, reading the books, having a laugh, playing some songs, seeing the movies. We're going to all get back to having fun again. Every now and then we will stick up for ourselves, every now and then. But generally, we're going to have some fun. All right, guys, got to go. Got to go. Take care, everyone. I'm off to cook.